So I'm at my local Walmart and they have all these rollback prices on pre-cut Waverly fabric. Look at this. All this all the way down. You see that? And here's one side here. And this is all the polar fleece that they have. See? They don't have a whole department of polar fleece. Now, I don't know how long this fabric department is going to stay here, but I'll show you the other side with how much they have. When a few years back, they had like, I think 6 aisles of fabrics. Okay, so this is another aisle of all their fabric. All the way down here. They have a lot of costume type fabric, so a lot of cosplay people can come here. Little girls making their tutus, some satins, glitter, tulle. Okay, and here are interfacings and stabilizers for embroidery. And then on this side, they have some foam and polar fleece on this side. But this is kind of nice. It's like a bath towel. This is like a fur, nice fur. Okay, and then they have the blankets already rolled up. And then of course they have their sewing machines on this side. And then here's their home deck fabric over here. And they got some faux leather here. Okay. Got some cork, upholstery, pre-cut upholstery. So like I said, I don't know how long they're going to stay in business as far as keeping this, because years ago when I used to come here, they had like 6 aisles of nothing but fabric. Let's go over here. Let's look over here. Their notions wall is over here. Quite a number of notions here. Yeah, so we just have to wait and see what's going to happen. Like I said, I'm on these sewing groups and I see all these people making garments. And then I'm on the another set of sewing groups and you see a lot of the older people making quilts, with a few exception of a few older people still making clothes for themselves. But I see a ton of new people coming into sewing, young mothers making blouses and dresses for themselves. Just see all that. So I don't know what's happening. Could it be the tariffs that they're not going to carry more fabrics and stuff? But people need to buy fabric, you know? People need to buy fabric because they want to sew. So there you go. If your Walmart has a pre-cut wall, head on over there and check this out. Yeah, and they have a little, look here, they still have patterns here. They still have patterns here that you can buy. Okay. And crafters and sewers, when you need storage containers for your hardware, bag makers, when you need storage containers, go to the fishing section of Walmart. Don't go to the crafting section. And you're going to pay a lot less. I buy these, they come inside with dividers. This is where you put your rivets in. Put all your rivets and things like this. So, yeah. And looks like they're out of the ones. I just bought some online because they were on sale online. They were by Plano. They were big. Let's see, they're this. Yeah, these here. Okay, look, the good price. Good price of the big one. See? And for you bag makers who like to make your own cording handles, come to the hunting section where they sell nautical rope. You buy nautical rope for your handles. These departments are not as big as they used to be 10, 12 years ago. Everything has condensed in size so much, but you can still find these things everywhere. You know, every Walmart's going to have a little section like this with rope. So, yeah. Okay, so now I'm on the craft side of the sewing department, and you could see how much they want for this little tiny box compared to what the cost was in the fishing area. So I got a bigger box for less money. See, the crafter section isn't always as cheap. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be careful. Look at this this box here for that price there. See? And I know when I used to post all different things in my videos, the ladies used to reply and say, "Where'd you buy that? Where'd you buy that?" And it's like, I'd gone to Harbor Freight, I've gone to Home Depot for things. Places you girls need to, you know, diversify and think about stepping outside the box. There's a reason why your husband goes to these places, you know? So creativity is all around you. You just have to get out of your little box and go and look at other things, explore other things. Jewelry. Here's their thread. And they got here, they got the zippers and the ribbons. They got buttons. So I don't know if your Walmart has any of this, but every Walmart I've been to, if they don't have fabric by the bolt, they still have these things like this in their sewing departments. So in their sewing machines, they got Brother. I talked about the machines like this that have the all metal frame inside. This one may have an all metal frame inside. Yeah, and then the Singers have all metal frame inside. And then here's let's see what they got here. Janome. They got Janome. Janome's all metal frame. Looks like this kind of looks like the Joanne version. That little Joanne I showed you in my other video, my walkthrough through Joanne's. Now I don't see those real cheap Computer Brother machines. Did they sell out of them or did they stop carrying them? Oh, here it is up here. Okay, yeah, you see this has a half circle harp. You see that? And these are the ones that don't have a metal frame. It's all plastic inside. After several years, it starts to disintegrate, and the screws that screw to the plastic, the little housing posts, they snap off, and the machine starts to fall apart on you. So if you're going to buy a machine, make sure you buy a machine that has an all metal frame. And if you don't know which one has an all metal frame, write the company and say, "Hey, I'm looking at this model number. Does it have an all metal frame inside?" Get a direct answer from the sewing machine company themselves, because they know what their products are. And this looks like it has an all metal frame. This one looks like it might have an all metal frame. So yeah, I learned that, like I said a while back, when I took one of my Brother machines apart that had that circle harp like this, and found out there was no metal frame in there, and the screw broke off the post and the motor came off and it wasn't sewing, you know. So yeah, anyway, and it wasn't cheap. I mean, I paid like $300 and some for that machine. I paid for that machine what you could buy now for a combo sewing and embroidery machine with an all metal frame. You got to be real careful as a consumer, and you got to stop asking questions from people that don't know and go directly to the source. You got to go directly to the source. Do not be afraid to write to these companies directly and get a direct answer from them. Question everything today. You have to. It's your money. It's your money. And your money doesn't go very far today. So if you're going to invest in things, you need to be sure. And then, you know, if you're looking for made in America, forget about the fabric. I mean, like most all this fabric from Joanne, it's all made in China, you know. So, but that's the world today. You can't put tariffs on things that we don't make in America. You know what I'm saying? You can't cut people off like that when they have no other option. If you want to stop these companies from outsourcing, then you don't allow these companies to have all these tax breaks. You only give the tax breaks to the companies that make the products in the United States. How hard is that to understand? How hard is that to understand? Okay, but they keep giving these tax breaks to these corporations and these billionaires, and they're not holding them accountable for anything, right? So how are you supposed to buy made in America when there's no made in America for what we're looking for, but these companies are still getting these corporate tax breaks? And the tariffs, they're still going to bring the products in, and people are still going to want to buy, but they're not going to buy as much. How does any of that make sense? I don't get it. I don't get the minds of some of these people. I really don't. I really, really don't. Cut off the tax breaks if they don't make it in America, and those that do make it in America, those are the ones you give the tax breaks to. All right, and this area has all the ribbons for decorative accents, and you can really do some decorative stitching over ribbon on your garments or whatever you're making for accents. So there's a lot of creativity, man. It's all around us. It's all around us. You just have to diversify your genre of sewing to be able to explore all these different. Look at this, 97 cents for this beautiful metallic type ribbon that I think at Joann's was like $2 or $3. See what I'm saying? So Joann's wasn't all that great for price-wise, but they had bigger selections. So we've got to look at the positive and start looking and being more creative. What did our great-great-grandparents do during the Great Depression? What did they do back then? How did they eat? Like my grandmother, when she owned a farm, after she sold the farm and came into the city, and then later on she rented an apartment on like a condo, and she had a little balcony. She planted a tomato tree in a pot on her balcony so she can have fresh tomatoes. So there's always something we can do. There's always something we can do. You just have to be creative and think about it. Think like the old timers. How did they survive? What did they do? And recycling. A lot of people go to the thrift shops and they recycle fabrics that people turn in. Marketplace in Florida is filled with used sewing machines. Top of the line, hardly used sewing machines that a lot of people are selling because their great-grandmother or their grandmother or their mother passed away and nobody in the family sews. So, and it's a buyer's market. I talked about that before. It's a buyer's market right now. Sellers are not getting top dollar because there's so many used machines right now. So it's a perfect opportunity for newbies to get a really good machine at a really low price. And don't settle for the high prices. You don't have to buy them for the high prices. There's too many of them right now. Too many of them. There we go. Look, they got some nice knits here. Look at this. They got some nice knits here at Walmart. So if you're fortunate to have this is a nice spandex type knit. This is great. So if you have a Walmart that still carries fabrics by the bolt, get over there. Get over there and look. And the prices are great. Look at that. Why can't Joann sell at these prices? Why couldn't Joann sell at these prices, right? Right? All right, I'm going to conclude this video by saying get out there and shop. If you have to drive 30 minutes away, 45 minutes away to a Walmart that still has fabric by the bolt, it's worth the trip. It is worth the trip. So talk to you later, everybody. Bye now.